choice.
How often do you reach for something sweet without really thinking about it? A piece of chocolate after lunch, a small dessert in the evening, something sweet for energy, for comfort, or simply because it is there. In this video, we will talk about sugar not as an enemy, but as a trap. You will learn why it is so easy to fall into sugar cycles, how sugar affects your brain, your energy, and your appetite. And most importantly, how to avoid sugar traps without extreme restrictions, without dieting, and without constantly fighting yourself. Many people believe that sugar problems come from a lack of willpower, that if they just tried harder, everything would be fine. The truth is that sugar affects the body and the brain in a way that makes this struggle uneven. That is why the first step is not control, but understanding. Sugar is not just a taste. It is a fast signal of pleasure and energy. When we consume sugar, the brain releases dopamine. This is the same mechanism behind habits and addictive behaviors. The more often this system is activated, the more strongly the body starts to crave it. The problem is not one spoon of sugar. The problem is frequency and hidden sources. Sweetened drinks, breakfast cereals, sauces, highly processed foods. Many of them are not perceived as sweet, yet they keep blood sugar levels constantly elevated. When blood sugar rises quickly, the body responds with insulin. Then levels drop just as fast. This leads to fatigue, irritability, and renewed hunger. This is how the cycle closes. Not because you are weak, but because biology works this way. One of the biggest sugar traps is emotional eating. Sugar temporarily soothes. It creates a sense of comfort and safety. But the effect is short-lived. After it fades, guilt often appears, followed by an even stronger craving for something sweet. It is important to understand that sugar cravings are often not hunger. They can be fatigue, stress, lack of sleep, dehydration, or simply a habit linked to a specific time of day. Before moving to solutions, we need to honestly observe our habits. When do you crave sweets the most? In the afternoon? In the evening? After a stressful day? These moments are not random. Sugar promises a quick fix, but the cost is unstable energy and constant appetite. If you want to avoid sugar traps, you should not start with restrictions. You should start with a strategy. Let us look at the most common sugar traps in everyday life. The first one is breakfast. Many people start the day with something sweet, pastries, sweetened drinks, sugary cereals. This puts the body into a sugar cycle from the very beginning of the day. When breakfast lacks protein and fiber, hunger returns quickly, and with it, the desire for more sugar. The solution is not skipping breakfast, but stabilizing it. More protein, more real food. The second trap is hidden sugar. It shows up where you least expect it. In sauces, in ready-made salads, in products marketed as healthy. The more processed a food is, the more likely it contains added sugar. The third trap is fatigue. When you are tired, the brain looks for fast energy. Sugar is the easiest source. That is why lack of sleep almost always goes hand in hand with sugar cravings. The fourth trap is all or nothing thinking. Either I am perfect or everything is ruined. This mindset leads to overeating and guilt fuels the search for comfort through food once again. If this information has been helpful so far, take a moment to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. This helps the content reach more people and supports the creation of more practical videos. Now let us talk about what works instead of restrictions. The first thing is stable meals. When each meal includes protein, fats, and fiber, blood sugar stays more balanced. This naturally reduces sugar cravings. The second is planning. Sugar impulses often appear when there is no plan. When you are hungry and unprepared, have alternatives ready. Not perfect options, but better ones. The third is permission. When sweets are completely forbidden, they become even more tempting. A more sustainable approach is mindful inclusion. Small amounts, without guilt, within the context of balanced meals. The fourth is stress management. Sugar often replaces rest and recovery. When the body is under constant stress, appetite increases. Sleep, breathing, short breaks. These are part of the strategy, not luxuries. It is important to understand that the goal is not to stop liking sweets. The goal is to stop being controlled by them. When the foundation is stable, cravings naturally weaken. Let us move to practical steps. The first step is awareness. For a few days, simply notice when sugar cravings appear. What happens before them? How you feel in that moment. The second step is meal structure. Start with one meal per day that feels more stable. You do not need to change everything at once. Small adjustments create the biggest impact. The third step is slowing down. When a sugar craving appears, pause. Not to fight it, but to check whether it is hunger or habit. Sometimes a few minutes are enough. The fourth step is your environment. If sweets are always around you, you will eat them more often. This is not about extreme measures. It is about fewer triggers and more intentional choices. The fifth step is patience. Sugar habits are not built in a day, and they do not disappear in a day. But each stable week weakens the cycle. Each balanced meal is progress. If this video helped you see your relationship with sugar differently, support it with a like. Subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. Share what your biggest challenge with sweets is. In conclusion, sugar is not the enemy, but when it is not understood, it becomes a trap. When you build a stable foundation, appetite calms down. Energy becomes more even. Choices become easier. Avoiding sugar traps does not mean deprivation. It means clarity, structure, and care for your body. Over time, this brings calm instead of constant struggle. Explore the other videos on the channel for more topics related to a healthy and sustainable lifestyle. Thank you for being here. I wish you balance, awareness, and a more peaceful relationship with food. See you in the next video.
Support us by liking and subscribing.